twirling, right?
Okay.
Gotta smack it a few times.
This is a pro right here, guys. He does this for a living.
Whoa! Korean church!
Hongdae, I'm in Yeongdong. I'm in Hongdae.
Yeongdong. What Yeongdong are you talking about? What?
Is Palisades Park, New Jersey, low-key the most Korean city in America? And what type of food are we gonna find there? Let's check it out. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Fung Bros Food. Today I'm out in Bergen County, New Jersey in a place called Palisades Park, aka Pal Park. It is a majority Korean populated city, and during the pandemic when New York's K-Town was closed, this is where people came to drink at pochas. They came all the way from New York to New Jersey just to drink, because you know, everything was shut down. Pandemic or not, you gotta get your pochas in. All right, so we got a lot of food to explore and I got a lot I wanna talk about, so let's go to our first spot. All right, starting off with our first spot, I'm here with my friend Chi, who lives and grew up in the area. Right now, are you an honorary Korean?
Yeah, my friends make fun of me. I'm an honorary Korean, so I'm gonna help you out and show you around Pal Park today.
The best naengmyeon, aka cold buckwheat noodles that I'm ever gonna have.
Yeah, it's really hot today, so we'll start off with some mulnaengmyeon, and they have some specialties here. We're at Naengmyeon.
Yeah.
It's part of the twin buildings.
All right, Chi, so starting off our trip, I wanted something refreshing and light. We have what is supposed to be the best naengmyeon, aka Korean cold buckwheat noodles that you could possibly get here out in Palisades Park. They have locations out in Georgia, Dallas. I mean, I can already tell the setup is looking different. This is the hue naengmyeon, and then this is the mulnaengmyeon, aka the water naengmyeon.
You know, a place is good when there's a lot of old people sitting in here.
Yo, this is not some hype beast young spot, all right? This is like old people approved. This is Ajima approved.
Yeah.
I have raw fish, spicy sauce, fresh noodles. Ooh! Naengmyeon. You just put the mustard on? Let's do extra mustard. Right off the bat, I didn't have naengmyeon when I went to Korea, but I gotta say that is the best one I've ever had. Those noodles, they're super thin. It feels like angel hair noodles, but they're super soft, chewy, a little bit bouncy. I loved it, man. Okay, the manager here made sure we got the kalbitang. He says it's also very special. Kalbitang. Soup is really light. So glad we got that. I don't know if you guys could tell earlier in the video, I was almost losing my voice, so this is key right now. All right, wrapping it up here at Sambong Naengmyeon. We have this green scallion kimchi, and this is gonna be called pa kimchi. Purple rice, pa kimchi, regular kimchi, and kalbi. Wow.
If you're hungover in Pal Park, I definitely recommend getting these two combos. Andrew, you hungover?
It's a Tuesday, Chi. Yuksu. See how milky that is? I swear I'm not hungover. I'm just saying I'm losing my voice. Because I was hungover this weekend. It's a Tuesday, people. Come on. Dude, I could put noodles in that right now and just eat it as is. That broth is so rich. It's a little bit spicy. Kind of has like a little bit of like pepper in there. Pal Park is off to a great start. All right, our next spot is the newest, most, I guess, highest end and cool cafe in the area. We're still on Broad Ave. It's called The Blossom. Chi, why is this spot significant?
This is actually one of my favorite spots. It has like a variety of food. It's also a cute date spot. So if you ever date a Jersey girl, definitely take her here.
Blossom. Let's check it out. Okay, Swan, can you describe like what makes this tteokbokki like rice cake stew like more special than other ones?
So what's inside of it is like it just doesn't have regular rice cakes. It has cheese rice cakes also inside, and then variety of the fish cakes.
Oh.
These have cheese inside.
Whoa. You said the chubby ones
Yeah,
got
the
cheese
chubby
inside.
ones have cheese inside.
They got cheese rice cakes. All right, that's new. I'm looking forward to it.
And what's on top is the fried odeng, fried fish cake.
Okay.
Kimbap.
Kimbap, your favorite kimbap.
Mafi.
What makes this different?
So this is a tonkatsu kimbap, and our kimbap is known to have very little rice.
Okay, and this is a traditional one, right?
Yeah,
More
it's like
traditional.
the original.
Is that one a little bit more new school?
Yeah, it's more new school.
Blossom Cafe. Love it so much. When the girls just dances, they're in a different world, okay? So this is my first time getting the cheese rice cake right here. I'm biting it in half. Yo, that's really good. Guys, this glass noodle mandu is actually really, really good. This is one of my favorite mandus I've had. It's super peppery inside, and it kind of tastes, it's kind of like a japchae, except a little bit more like eggy and spicy. So it's got pepper on the inside, noodles on the inside, and it's fried, and then it's just all spicy on the outside. That is a 5 out of 5. My favorite tteokbokki I've ever had, actually. Because like I was telling her earlier, I'm actually not a fan of tteokbokki in general, but that one's really good. Chi, you said that this is the best kimbap I may ever have. I'm gonna judge this, because I've had the kimbap in Korea before. Right outside of the hotel that we were staying at, there was like a new designated kimbap spot, so.
What does it mean?
Exactly right. The ratio between egg and pickled veggies wrapped up in a thin layer of rice. I gotta say, that's a good kimbap. Katsu kimbap. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna roll with the original.
Right?
Okay, we got dessert here. We got the pot bingsu, but this is a little bit different. Why is this different than other bingsus that you may have had?
They said their ice is made with milk. So I think that's gonna give us more flavor than like just basic ice that most places get.
This is a mango cheesecake bingsu.
Go for it.
Hold up, you're saying there are pieces of cheesecake in the mango bingsu. Okay, I got it. I know why you gotta take a date here. Mango cheesecake bingsu. Honestly, there's like pieces of cheesecake mixed in with my bite, so I can't really tell what I'm eating.
She is raving about. I've never seen a kimbap like this in my life. Whoa. Oh my god. It's like a tteokbokki pizza. Oh my god.
Kwan. It's one of the most popular Chinese Korean restaurants. Now I noticed there are a lot of Chinese Korean restaurants here. They got some dishes here that I've never had before. I like this style of food. I know they eat in the northeast of China, like in Dongbei, but I gotta check it out. All right, so you know I don't really read Chinese very well, but I know that character. That means big. Ah. But if you look at the menu here, I will tell you this, aesthetically, it definitely looks like a Chinese menu. It looks like a standard Chinese restaurant. But they have some orange flavored beef, Mongolian beef. So a lot of it you're gonna think is like, oh, this is like Americanized Chinese food. But they have some dishes here that are like, they have like a beef and chive dish with the baos that Swan was telling us about. They got jjajangmyeon, of course.
We have to try the jjajangmyeon.
And they have different styles of jjajangmyeon. All right, and just to be clear, jjajangmyeon originally comes from China. No, no, don't try to
Some
take
people
it.
may argue.
You know
that.
what? You know what? There's no argument. I looked into it. Trust me.
Yeah?
Guys, it's
Google
all good.
said so?
It's all good. We'll just claim that one. But are you the owner?
Yes.
你是老板?
我是老板。
Oh, cool. Where are you? Are you from Dongbei?
我们是山东，
山东。
我们是华侨。
华侨。
哦
What?
That's why we born in Korea
Uh-huh.
and immigrant to here.
Oh, 我妈妈是烟台人。
真的？
Yeah. Korean dishes, right? That probably the origins are from China, but Koreans do it a little differently. This is eaten oftentimes in Dongbei and Shandong, like the northern part. In Shandong, there's certain parts of the province of Shandong. It's not as north as Dongbei is, but the peninsula of Shandong is actually really close to South Korea, so there is actually a lot of crossover right there. This is sauteed jiu chai, which is chives with beef, and then you get the bun. Chao jiu chai. I love chives, and it's a thing that a lot of Chinese more in the north eat.
That's such a good snack.
Yeah.
Really good snack.
And you gotta get your greens in too. Peel this open, roll it out. Make my own new dish.
You're definitely doing it wrong.
All right, so this dish in Chinese is tang su rou, and then in Korean it's
탕수육.
all right. You know what's interesting? This word for yolk is the same word in Cantonese for meat. So there's like certain words from Cantonese that are more like Korean, and then there's certain Mandarin words that are more like Korean. Anyways, so you eat it with the spicy
they
sauce
dip
right here.
this and then dip another one more time here.
Oh.
Like this. You can.
Oh, I'll dip it. I'll
one
dip
of
it.
What's
Okay.
in the sauce?
Yeah.
vinegar,
What is
soy
this?
sauce,
Vinegar, vinegar and soy sauce. So
and some pepper, chili pepper.
okay, so this is a vinegar, soy sauce, and chili pepper mix, and a lot of Koreans, they like to take this and dip it a second time. All right.
Oh, this is so good.
Wow.
Okay.
Here I have the spicy jjajangmyeon. Okay, I'm gonna lay this on top. Now, when she was saying that the Chinese version is actually more of a lighter brown sauce, that is true for certain regions, but the northern jjajangmyeon in China actually looks more like this, so it's a darker bean paste.
Giving credit to as the
Oh,
founder
it
of.
definitely came from the northern China. Definitely. Gosh, this is another dish you don't want to wear a white tee while eating, but you know, like I said, you gotta take risks in life. Spicy jjajangmyeon.
Fancy with spicy sauce.
Yo. Okay, so real quick, I bumped into the daughter of this restaurant, Lindsay.
Hi.
Lindsay, nice to meet you. What's your friend's name?
Alexis.
Alexis, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So you're Chinese, but your parents are from Korea, and they run this Chinese Korean restaurant.
Yes, they do. Yeah, like the funny thing is, growing up, a lot of my friends were Korean. So the thing is, like, I had to explain this whole thing about how, like, I speak Chinese at home, but my parents speak Chinese and Korean to me. So it's like they always found it interesting, but like a lot of my friends are Korean. But like I'm still working on learning Korean, but like Chinese, you know, is where it's at.
Which culture would you say you're more a part of at this point in your life? Like, are you spending time in this particular, like in between Chinese Korean culture or Chinese culture, like which you would more find in like Flushing or Chinatown, New York, or you know, other places like that, or is it more Korean?
I honestly have to say it's a pretty equal balance. Like depends on like what like section of my life we're talking about. Like food wise, I love Korean food.
Okay.
Like kimchi jjigae is like my favorite. But then like I spend a lot of time like when my parents are off, we go eat in Flushing and whatnot.
Okay.
So like we enjoy a lot of dim sum and like a lot of like authentic Chinese food. And then language, like it's really a mixture of both. Like I speak Chinese, but my mom speaks a good amount of Korean to me. So even though I can't really speak Korean, like I'm still trying to learn. But
Right.
a lot of it is just like a mixture. So there really isn't like one overweight.
I mean, you're part of the Chinese diaspora. It's funny because like I think this Chinese Korean kind of crossover is like not as common, so people don't think about it. But actually, there's a lot of like Chinese Vietnamese people, like Chinese people from Vietnam. So that's like more of what I'm familiar with growing up. But later in my life, I met people who were like the Chinese Koreans, right? Like the Chinese from Korea. What are your favorite Chinese Korean dishes out of these three?
Definitely the jjajangmyeon. Like obviously growing up, I have easy access to jjajangmyeon, so like whenever I'm like around this area, like I always have jjajangmyeon. I also like 탕수육. Right there.
Is the spicy jjajangmyeon? Is that the
I
new
always
one? That's
get
the wave
the
you
spicy
want.
jjajangmyeon. Yeah, I have to say.
The
it's my
younger
favorite.
see, that's why she said the younger generation, because she knew you ate it. I've had the Korean jjajangmyeon maybe like 7-8 times in my life. Decent amount of times, right? Enough to. This is by far the best one. The northern jjajangmyeon from China that I'm talking about, it is a lot darker. It's a lot heavier. More robust fermented bean flavor. This is a little bit smoother, but this is turned up than the other ones that I've had. So I would say this is the best jjajangmyeon I've ever had. You guys got to check the spot out. Chi, what was your favorite one?
I mean, I liked all of them, but 탕수육, I don't think it could beat, like, anyone else could beat this one.
Okay, so that's the best 탕수육. 5 out of 5 on the spicy jjajangmyeon, for sure.
And your shirt's clean.
Hey, the video's not over yet. There's still plenty of time to splatter something on this, but yes, clean for now. All right, I know it is 1 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon, but we are outside of the most popular pocha. I have a lot of friends from New York that were going here during the New York shutdown because Jersey was more open because they needed to, you know, still get their soju fix in. So explain to them, Michelle, what a pocha is.
A pocha is an outdoor kind of Korean drinking spot that you can go to, where also here in Jersey, you get a fraction of the price compared to New York City. So, I mean, you get just as good quality food, you get just as f***ed up, but fraction of the price.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's worth the trip. Just don't drink and drive.
You get f***ed up for a fraction. That's good. I like the tagline. Tell me about the history of this spot, because this spot is like huge, but it used to be like something else.
Yeah, I mean, this was a staple diner in Pal Park. It's been there for years, and then after that, it's transformed to 6 different places.
Wait, it was an American diner.
Yep, American diner.
So this used to be an American diner, and maybe this is one of the things that, I don't know, made some of the older Palisade Park residents mad. Not all of them. I'm sure they're great people, but yeah. So it was stuff like this. The diner's gone. Now it's a pocha.
I mean, it's transformed about 6 different times. This pocha, we'll see how long it lasts, but I mean, I feel like it's been cursed since then.
Wow. What a plug. You said it's cursed. Susang Pocha here on Broad Ave. All right, so our next spot is Wild Pink. It's super aesthetically focused. It's a relatively new cafe. It's got a lot of like cool little treats. We're gonna try some egg bread. They got croffles, which are like croissant waffles, and then they have some of these drinks.
I mean, this spot is beautiful. When you take a look inside, you don't feel like you're still in Jersey. It almost makes you feel like you're in New York City.
I have a matcha latte with strawberries at the bottom. I'm mixing it up.
This is a strawberry aid, which is strawberry bits and some soda.
Cheers. Oh, that's good. That's almost like a dessert though.
It's refreshing. Koreans also love aids, I realize. Fruits and soda, you mix it together.
All right, so I love how like spots like in Pal Park, like Wild Pink, they're taking things that are really popular and well known in Korea and bringing it here. So this is the egg bread. I've never had this before. Now, I think the concept is pretty simple, but I think having your whole breakfast compacted into like a little like muffin shaped bread, I think that's pretty interesting. And you said you saw this on the streets of Korea.
Yeah.
So they'll make it like in the mold. How do you make it? Is it kind of like takoyaki, you know, like
a pan.
It's not as beautifully displayed like this because you're in the street, you're making it real quick. People want to grab and go. So it's on like a skillet grill, like on the takoyaki, and they flip it. You see the egg going in motion.
Okay.
It's really crazy. It's an art and science all in one.
kerang bang.
He's saying bong.
Bang. Kerang bang.
Bang.
You got it.
Bang.
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 I say, you know what, as Polish.
All right, can you paint me a picture? Where am I eating this in Korea? Am I
In the streets.
what
Maybe
street?
wait.
What neighborhood?
Gangnam, Hongdae, where?
Hongdae.
Yeongdong.
I'm in Yeongdong. I'm in Hongdae.
Yeongdong. Whose Yeongdong are you talking about? What dog?
Shout out to the young dongs out there.
All the dogs.
Egg bang. This is the true egg McMuffin. It's a egg in the shape of a muffin. I don't know if they were inspired by the egg McMuffin, but this is truly a egg in muffin form.
A whole damn egg.
This is the hotdog croffle, a croissant waffle.
What's hot dog? Like what flavor is that?
Oh, it's not necessarily a flavor, but it's the texture of the bread. So you can think about it as the best way is like a croffle, right? Because you get the flaky croissant on the outside.
It's hot. It's so hot.
Yeah, you hear that crunch.
Yeah, hotdog
That
is like
crisp.
cinnamon.
Nice.
A Korean style croissant waffle.
Yep.
Hot dog croffle.
The chewy texture that a cinnamon roll doesn't have, but the crunchy exterior and the nuts, the pine nuts to be exact. And they put a little bit of like the frosting on top, which is a different mix because Koreans usually don't do that, but we're in America.
Guys, I think I know. I think croffles are a relatively new thing, but you guys gotta check this one out. It was super fluffy, soft, crispy, still had that chewiness. Very good snack, and it was super fresh. All right, last but not least, I got the mugwort drink. And mugwort, it sounds kind of weird and nasty. I don't really know what comes to mind, but it's actually a Korean herb that's supposed to taste a little bit more like a robust matcha. Okay, so it's gonna be stronger, but you have an espresso, you have the mugwort, and then you have the cream on top. So, Korean herbs. Yeah, it's almost like a deeper, a little bit more bitter matcha. No, it's stronger. And I burp? My bad. I burp a lot, actually. I take in a lot of air. That is something I do, actually.
You gotta.
It's my
more
thing.
flavor when you get air in there.
Yeah, because I have to make space because it's like blow it and then I release it and I can drink more.
And the herbs is helping you on the inside out, right?
Mugwort, if you're down, if you want to try a stronger matcha. All right, my question to you guys is, do you think mugwort, with that name, can compete with matcha?
I say matcha takes the cake.
Okay. But this was a really interesting dish. I expect you guys to, I would really recommend you guys try this if you've never had it, especially if you like matcha. All right, on to our next spot. All right, Dan, behind the camera. I asked you about the arirang rice cakes. Can you explain to me real quick?
Yeah. These are the rice cakes that you eat on New Year's.
On New Year's Day, you're gonna get this. All right, it's not New Year's, but this is some traditional Korean stuff that, like, you know, I don't see very often. So I'm gonna go in and buy it. Okay, so I'm inside of Arirang rice cake, and I'm trying to look for some very traditional snacks. This is a traditional Korean candy, and the lady warned me. I wanted to buy it, but she was like, whoa, watch out for your teeth, because it might rip out your teeth. So I'm gonna back off, but I wanted to show that. And then here, I'm gonna get this traditional cookie, and then I'm gonna get these mugwort rice cakes, you know, which is gonna be kind of like mochi, but, you know, Korean style, so get these two things. Okay, Chi, I know you are not Korean, but you grew up out here, so which one of these traditional Korean snacks have you had?
I've had these guys.
Okay, so you can eat these during New Year's, but you don't have to. And usually you'll roll them in brown sugar. That's what Dan just told me, but I wanted to get these because this is a mugwort one. Well, I've already had mugwort twice, so this is mugwort town. All right, mugwort rice cakes. Oh. Yo, that exploded.
That's like sesame honey inside.
Very sweet, kind of chewy. It tastes like a lot of the kind of East Asian rice cakes, whether it's Chinese like tangyuan, which is kind of the soupy rice ball with the black sesame, or you have obviously mochi, and then this is the cool duck. All right, Chi, what I'm looking at here is a traditional Korean cookie, and you don't recognize this because maybe you didn't grow up with a Korean grandmother. But Dan right here behind the camera did. Dan, your grandmother would have these on deck.
All the time.
Korean cookie. Your grandmother might have this. Definitely tastes like something I've had before, but that's actually not bad. It's not a dry cookie. It's like a moist,
it's super moist,
dense cookie.
Yeah, it's definitely not healthy.
No, it's
It's
good.
definitely not healthy.
Nah, it's not healthy, but it's kind of good. See if this brings you back to your childhood, dude.
Whoa! Korean church!
All right, so we're outside of Broad Gourmet Market. It looks like a spot where you buy all your meats for Korean barbecue. And I know I'm in an Asian enclave because back in the 626 in LA, which is the Chinese zone, they'll have shops that are selling all the meat that you need for hot pot. So you got all the meats you need for Korean barbecue. And then of course in the Chinese zone, you'll have your hot pot meats. But I'm gonna take a quick look inside. You got a family gathering in Pal Park, all right? You're doing Korean barbecue. Which meats are you getting?
I mean, I like starting off barbecue with some brisket.
Okay, brisket. What about ribeye? Ribeye, are we doing ribeye?
You can skip the ribeye.
Okay, so these stew short ribs, are these gonna be for like kalbitang?
Yeah. the
Okay,
soup.
she said yes. I
The
said
soup.
kalbitang, and then the lady said, yeah, that's the meat for the kalbitang. So this is the regular kalbi, okay? Pork belly.
Samgyeopsal.
I need to date a Jersey girl, okay? I need to go to the
Samgyeopsal.
Blossom Cafe with her, okay? Guys, if you need to start your own Korean barbecue restaurant, or you're having like a big Korean
Family
barbecue
gathering.
at home, you got your kimchi, big tubs, all different types of kimchi. You have your own kimchi brand that you're a part of.
Guys, check out Hometown Kimchi.
You guys know the spot if you need to get your Korean barbecue on. What better way to end off our Pal Park journey by coming to one of the most famous late night pochas here. It's so famous and was so important that during the pandemic, when New York's Koreatown was completely shut down, a lot of the people who still wanted to get their Korean drinks in and get their soju fix and their pocha fix in, they came to places like this. Exit 201. Let's see if I walk out of here sober. Who knows? I don't.
Yet. Not mine, not mine, not mine. Not mine, just borrow it. Just
All right, everybody, I'm standing here with Josh, the owner of Exit 201. And you guys, this is started by your family, and you guys have like kind of a story of like, you know, you guys were struggling at first. Could you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so we actually started this place in 2013 with the name of Mariachi. Some of you guys might know it actually didn't turn out so well. And we had to progress a little bit. We had to figure out what the customers wanted, what the town wanted in terms of drinking, nightlife, food, and then we eventually evolved into establishment like this. And you know, we're proud to be here at this time.
All right, Josh, we got a whole lot of food on the table. Now, this is all food that I can order while I'm drinking here at Exit 201, right?
Right. So this is like a typical type of food that people order while they drink.
Okay.
So
Which one is this? What's this dish called?
So this is called a seafood jampongtang.
Okay.
So this is like a typical spicy soup that you'll see at Korean Chinese restaurant, right?
Yo, I noticed that there's kind of a lot of like Chinese, Korean dishes and restaurants here.
Yeah.
Like, I know that was always a thing, but it just seems like maybe in Pal Park there's even a few more than I expected.
So what a lot of people don't know is a lot of Korean foods are infused with Chinese food as well. So when Koreans say Chinese food, we're thinking of it as like, it's not a real Chinese food, like takeout Chinese food, but it's cuisine Chinese food, but it's very Koreanized.
Right.
So
Well, it could be cooked by the Chinese people who grew up in Korea,
Right.
or possibly Koreans who grew up in China, because there is a lot of that population that
Right.
does cross over. Yeah.
Nurungji.
I think initially you don't know how good the food is gonna be at a spot that you also get really trashed at.
Right.
But the food is good here, so definitely. Yo, we got some other dishes here that I've actually never seen before. Some of these I have seen before, but this one, what is this?
So this is our special spicy pig feet.
Pig feet.
Yeah,
Wait,
so-
is this supposed to be a pig's foot?
It's supposed to be a pig leg and a foot.
Oh,
So there's
shoot.
different bones as well there.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
So
I
you'll
didn't want to
actually
say
see it.
this was not a pig. This is the leg of the pig, right?
No, that's actually the foot / the leg. I mean, at the end you'll see like the toes. and
Oh,
the
okay. Josh, do you know why Koreans use the scissors so much?
Yeah.
Like, it makes a lot of sense, but I'm just like, how did they arrive to using it?
Honestly, I don't know if it's like a Korean thing. When I started working here, we use it a lot more often. But at home, it's not. I don't think we use our knives at home. Like jokbal.
Almost some like Southeast Asian or like Sichuan flavors with
Yeah,
the chilies.
yeah.
That's really good, man. Did you guys come up with the seasoning yourself, or is this kind of still based off a traditional Korean dish?
So all the foods throughout, we don't use any special sauce, like third party sauce on anything. So we house make every sauce. So the middle one that you just talked about, it is the daechang, gopchang, makchang.
Taepjeong, gopchang, makchang.
Right. So there's the large intestine, small intestines.
Yeah.
And it's the three combo. That one is chicken gizzards.
Okay.
It's one of our best sellers. So that one goes well with the soju. Yeah, so I mean the soju itself is not a strong alcohol.
Right.
So it's very easy to drink. But at the same time, it doesn't have like a crazy, aftertaste.
Yeah.
So when you chase it, instead of having a chaser with a drink, you'll take a bite of one of the foods, and it kind of acquires that taste.
Oh. This is your guys' own chicken and rice, like your
Yes.
halal chicken and rice.
Yes.
Awesome, man. I mean, they're in the East Coast, Jersey, New York. Halal food is very, very popular. So I'm looking forward to trying your guys' version. I think that's really cool. This is the Exit 201 Halal guys version. I think it's cool that you guys have your own version. A lot of restaurants, especially like, this is probably the first Asian establishment that I've seen try to really honestly do their take on the Middle Eastern chicken and rice. Like, you're the first ones. All right, everybody, so we are at a pocha, so we got to get to drinking soon, but my two favorite dishes that I had, and shout out to Josh and shout out to the chefs back there and everybody here, was the chukbar, the pig's feet, and then the champon. This seafood champon was really, really good. So if you guys come out here, check it out. What was your favorite
But
cheese?
if you can't handle the spicy, definitely get the chicken and rice.
All right, let's go have some drinks.
Alright guys, so now we're in the outdoor area of exit 201.
Yo, this is packed like on the weekends, and really it makes a lot of sense that they have a whole like parking lot to work with, so it's pretty tight. Josh, we have some makgeolli here,
Yep.
right? And then we have some Jinro soju.
Yep.
It looks like a different bottle. Is this like the higher end version?
No, it's
Messed up?
actually the same thing. It's actually like a newer one.
Okay.
But they're this is kind of like the old school style they just brought back. So
Oh,
it's like a retro.
Retro, okay.
Yep.
So we got the retro Jinro bottle. Can you paint me a picture? Friday, Saturday night. Is there a DJ? What music?
Yes, we do have a DJ every weekend. We play any type of music. We call it like a hip house top 40. So hip hop and house music and top 40 style is the type of music that we have.
Okay.
We do put in some Korean music as well.
Yeah. I mean, you got
the BTS and everything.
The hits.
The hits.
Yeah. Are we going somewhere after, or is this the before or ending spot, or all night?
So this is where it kind of starts.
So if I start at Exit 201, where might I go afterwards?
So we actually have karaoke right next door within the establishment. So that's where everybody ends up, and we kind of use that as an excuse to, hey, let's sober up, let's go sing and sober up. The twirling, right?
Okay.
Gotta smack it a few times.
This is a pro right here, guys. He does this for a living. Cheers.
So this is makgeolli. From my experience, there are two different ways to drink it. The first one is to drink it without shaking it. Actually gives a better, cleaner taste. So what we're gonna do is try that first.
No, this is
No.
tea. This is like how you drink tea.
This is like tea.
Tea, no.
Okay.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers, cheers. I'm holding it like this.
Now you're making me hold it.
Now you're gonna
So
add.
now I'm gonna shake it, but you don't want to shake it too much because you're gonna have this thing explode. So what you want to do is shake it a little bit. You want to twirl it a little bit.
Light
and kinda-
shake.
Light shake. Light
Okay.
shake. Now if you
It looks
see the
more
color-
milky.
Yes.
If you see the color, now it's very milky.
Ending off the video in Pal Park at Exit 201. We got these last two drinks. What are they, Josh?
These are our signature cocktails.
Okay.
On the clear one, we're looking at the lychee cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
It's made with vodka and with the lychee, puree and also the ball in it.
All right, as I drink this super sweet mango pina colada, how would you compare the different Korean areas like Fort Lee and Pal Park? Because my impression of Fort Lee is that it's like the quiet, super chill K-town. It's not over 50% Korean yet like Pal Park is. Pal Park got the Korean American mayor now. How is it different?
So I would say Fort Lee is a little more diverse still, in terms of having a Western and also Asian culture mixed in. But Pal Park is, like you said, we do have a Korean mayor now. Where they're trying to make Pal Park the new Koreatown of New Jersey. But at the same time, you'll be able to get both good foods and drinks in both areas. But definitely you want to check out Pal Park if you want to experience Korean culture a lot more.
Fort Lee actually has some spots that are open later than Pal Park. So after you guys end here at 2 a.m., some people from here will go back to Fort Lee.
Yes.
That's-
And if you guys want to do that, come over to me. I'll recommend you the spots that you should go to.
But you got to come here first to Exit 201 so that Josh can tell you. See, that's the bait. You get them because they got to come here first. Fire. This is.
Wow, this is really good.
Yeah, the
I don't
lychee
know.
is really
I don't know if I should finish this thing. I can see on the cups it says seriously easy, easier, easy. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean.
I think it should say drunk, stop drinking, bye.
All right, everybody. Wrapping it up here at Exit 201. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. I learned so much about the Pochow life here. And man, this Pal Park crawl has been a journey. Woo! All right, Chi, I made it out there about 90% sober. So I'm pretty good. But everybody, that wraps it up for our Palisades Park, Bergen County, New Jersey crawl. Shout out to Chi. Thank you for helping set that up. You're a Pal Park native. I know you're not natively Korean, but you are an honorary Korean at this point. What do you got to say about Pal Park?
Pal Park helps me to like de-stress, loosen up, catch up with friends, mingle, good food.
But this is home.
Yeah, it's home.
Big shout out to Chi. Check out our links down below. It's not really about Pal Park versus Fort Lee. The thing I would say about Pal Park in general is that the amount of Koreans and the density allows it to kind of start to feel like a neighborhood in Seoul, where like I'm walking down Broad Ave and everything is Korean, and it kind of feels like a lot of the spots are owned by people from Korea. The people walking the streets are probably born in Korea, a lot of them, and it just kind of gave me an authentic feeling. I think out in Jersey, you just have so much space that you can have these humongous pochas. Like, you can't
Yeah,
have
we
this
have
in
the
New
same.
York
No.
because there's literally no space, but you have this out in Jersey because you have this huge parking lot, and it just kind of adds to the whole community aspect of it. So what I'm trying to say, Chi, is that after all this time and Korean friends talking to me about Pal Park, I get it now.
You get it.
I get it. Pal Park is enjoyable. I understand it. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching that video. Shout out to Chi, shout out to everybody. It was a really informative, good video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we ate a lot of great food. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought looked the most delicious. And if we left out any spots, I know we couldn't film in every spot, but we tried to. I ate a lot. And who knows, like maybe one of these nights, I'll come back. I'll hit you up, Chi. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching that. Please give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and until next time, we out. Peace.